Ever stop to think that perhaps poverty isn't just a stroke of bad luck, but a series of choices? It's true. Many people find themselves in financial straits because of the habits they've unintentionally adopted. From squandering money to indulging in vices, these habits quietly dictate their financial fate. But here's the kicker. You're not one to settle for the status quo. You're here because you recognize the need for change. You're ready to roll up your sleeves, make some sacrifices, and pave your own path towards financial security. In today's video, we're diving deep into the topic, from scarcity to security, 16 critical sacrifices for financial freedom. We'll dissect each sacrifice, unraveling the secrets to breaking free from the shackles of poverty and embarking on a journey towards wealth. Pay attention. Each sacrifice counts, and number 13 cannot be missing in your life. So, buckle up and prepare to discover the keys to unlocking financial stability. But hey, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of aspiring wealth builders. Trust us, you won't want to miss out on the invaluable insights we're about to share. Now let's get started. First, let's talk about immediate gratification versus long-term goals. Imagine you're at a crossroads. On one path, there's the temptation of instant pleasure. Maybe it's splurging on a new gadget or dining out at a fancy restaurant. On the other path lies the promise of something greater, a future filled with financial security and freedom. Now, it's natural to crave instant gratification. After all, who doesn't love a quick thrill? But here's the thing. Those immediate rewards often come at the expense of our long-term goals. It's like choosing between indulging in a sugary treat now or investing in your health for a better future. When we delay gratification and focus on our long-term goals, we're playing the long game. It's about making sacrifices today for a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's saving for retirement, starting a business, or pursuing higher education, every decision we make shapes our financial future. So, the next time you're tempted by instant gratification, pause and ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to my long-term goals? Remember, success is a journey, not a sprint. Now let's talk about overcoming fear. It's like that shadow lurking in the corner of your mind, whispering doubts and insecurities. But here's the scoop. Fear is just a feeling, not a fact. Sure, it can be intimidating, especially when it comes to our finances, but it's not unbeatable. Think of fear as a giant boulder blocking your path to financial freedom. At first glance, it seems impossibly heavy, but with the right tools and mindset, you can move mountains. It's all about harnessing your inner strength and facing fear head-on. Now let's talk strategy. One way to tackle fear is by reframing your thoughts. Instead of dwelling on the worst-case scenario, focus on the potential rewards waiting on the other side. It's like flipping the script on fear and turning it into fuel for your success. Another trick is to start small. Break your financial goals down into bite-sized chunks, like tackling a giant puzzle one piece at a time. With each step forward, you'll gain momentum and confidence until fear is nothing more than a distant memory. So remember, fear may be a formidable opponent, but with courage, determination, and a dash of optimism, you can conquer it and chart your course towards financial freedom. All right, let's dive into the deep waters of avoiding the victim mentality. Meet Sarah, a character we'll use to paint this picture. Sarah often finds herself blaming the world for her financial struggles. Every time her bank account hits rock bottom, she points fingers at external forces, the economy, her boss, even the weather. Now picture this. She's like a sailor lost at sea, blaming the winds for blowing her off course instead of adjusting her sails. But here's the plot twist. The power to navigate her financial ship lies within her hands. Imagine Sarah grabbing the helm, steering her ship toward calmer waters. Instead of dwelling on the storm, she focuses on finding solutions, patching up leaks, charting a new course. It's not about playing the blame game. It's about taking ownership of her journey. So, dear viewers, if you ever feel like Sarah, lost in a sea of excuses, remember this. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're the captain of your destiny. So hoist your sails, brave the waves, and chart a course toward financial freedom. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. Now, let's dive into the crucial topic of evaluating opportunities. Picture this. You stumble upon what seems like a golden ticket to financial freedom, but hold your horses. Before you jump headfirst into any opportunity, it's essential to do your due diligence. Think of it as sifting through a treasure chest to find the real gems. Remember, not every shiny object is worth your time and investment. So, how do you separate the wheat from the chaff? Start by asking the tough questions. What are the risks involved? Is the potential reward worth it? Take a cue from seasoned investors and do your research. Scour the internet, consult experts, and trust your gut instincts. And here's where our title, From Scarcity to Security, comes into play. Each opportunity you evaluate is a potential sacrifice on your path to financial freedom. By making informed decisions and avoiding impulsive moves, you're laying the groundwork for a secure future. Remember, haste makes waste, but patience pays dividends. So take your time, weigh your options, and choose wisely. After all, the road to financial freedom is paved with smart choices and calculated risks. All right, let's talk about something we've all been guilty of at some point: emotional spending. Picture this. You've had a rough day at work and suddenly that online shopping spree seems like the perfect pick-me-up. Sound familiar? It's like our emotions are pulling the strings, urging us to hit add to cart without a second thought. But here's the kicker. Those impulsive purchases can wreak havoc on our wallets in the long run. So what's the solution? Well, it's all about finding healthier ways to cope with our emotions. Instead of reaching for that credit card, why not try some deep breathing exercises, go for a walk, or call up a friend for a chat? By addressing the root cause of our emotions, we can break free from the cycle of emotional spending and take control of our finances once and for all. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Now let's talk about dealing with rejection, something we've all faced at one point or another. It's like getting a door slammed in your face when you least expect it. But here's the kicker. Rejection isn't the end of the road. It's just a detour on the path to success. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. Before she became the literary sensation behind Harry Potter, her manuscript was rejected by multiple publishers. Can you believe it? But did she throw in the towel? No way. Instead, she persisted. And look where she is now, a billionaire author inspiring millions around the globe. So the next time rejection knocks on your door, remember J.K. Rowling's story. Use it as fuel to keep pushing forward, because every setback is just a setup for a legendary comeback. Embrace rejection as part of the journey, learn from it, grow from it, and watch as it propels you toward greatness. After all, the most successful people aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never give up. Next, balancing work and family life. It can feel like walking a tightrope, but fear not, you've got this. Picture this, you're juggling deadlines at work while also trying to make it to your kid's soccer game on time. It's a familiar scenario for many of us, right? But here's the thing. Finding harmony between career aspirations and family commitments is crucial on the road from scarcity to security. Now let's talk about the 16 critical sacrifices for financial freedom. That's our guiding light on this journey. Imagine your work-life balance as a delicate dance, where communication and boundaries are your trusty partners. By carving out dedicated family time and being present in the moment, you're not just building a successful career, you're nurturing precious relationships that form the foundation of true wealth. And speaking of wealth, remember, financial freedom isn't just about numbers in a bank account. It's about having the time and freedom to enjoy life's simple pleasures with your loved ones. So, as you navigate the hustle and bustle of daily life, keep your eye on the prize, because ultimately, the greatest sacrifice is the one that leads to a life filled with abundance, joy, and cherished memories with those who matter most. All right, let's talk about living authentically. You know, in a world where social media can sometimes feel like a highlight reel of everyone's lives, it's easy to get caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses. But here's the thing. True happiness doesn't come from fancy cars or designer labels. It comes from staying true to who you are and what you value. Imagine this. Instead of chasing after material possessions to impress others, you focus on what truly brings you joy. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, or simply enjoying life's simple pleasures. Authenticity is about aligning your actions with your values. So let's break free from the pressure to live up to society's standards and embrace our uniqueness. Whether you're a minimalist who finds joy in decluttering or a free spirit who thrives on spontaneity, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to living authentically. So let's celebrate our quirks, embrace our imperfections, and live life on our own terms. After all, authenticity is the key to unlocking a life filled with genuine happiness and fulfillment. Next, let's talk about managing debt. Now, I know debt can feel like a heavy weight dragging you down on your journey from scarcity to security, but here's the deal. Facing your debt head-on is the first step to breaking free from its grip. Think of it like cleaning out your closet. It might seem daunting at first, but once you start, you'll feel lighter and more in control. So how do you tackle debt? Start by taking stock of what you owe. Write down all your debts, from credit cards to student loans, and their respective interest rates. Next, craft a repayment plan. Prioritize high-interest debts while making minimum payments on the rest. It's like chipping away at a mountain, one step at a time. You'll reach the summit. Now here's where the title of our video comes into play. 16 Critical Sacrifices for Financial Freedom. Sacrificing unnecessary expenses to funnel more money toward debt repayment is key. It might mean cutting back on dining out or canceling that streaming subscription. Remember, every sacrifice brings you closer to financial freedom. And don't forget to build an emergency fund along the way. Having a safety net will prevent you from resorting to credit in times of need. All right, now let's talk about the chatter from the peanut gallery. You know, those guys always chirping in with their 2 cents. Now, here's the scoop. Your dreams, they're yours and yours alone. So why let someone else's opinion reign on your parade? Picture this. You're the captain of your ship, charting a course toward your goals. Now sure, it's nice to have input from others, but at the end of the day, you're the one calling the shots. Now imagine this, you've got a vision, a dream that sets your soul on fire. But here comes old negative Nancy, telling you it's impossible. It's too risky. Well, here's a reality check. The greatest success stories were born from skepticism and doubt. So, tune out the naysayers, trust your gut, and watch as your wildest aspirations take flight. Remember, it's your journey, your adventure. So embrace the unknown, silence the doubters, and march to the beat of your own drum. After all, the only opinion that truly matters is the one staring back at you in the mirror. Now let's talk about something that might not sound super exciting, but is absolutely crucial: budgeting and cutting those expenses. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to save up for something really cool, like a vacation or a new gadget. You gotta know where your money's going, right? That's where budgeting comes in handy. It's like having a roadmap for your finances. Now, cutting expenses might sound a bit daunting, but it's all about making smart choices. Start by looking at where you're spending your money each month. Maybe it's those daily coffees or subscription services you forgot you even signed up for. Once you identify those areas, it's time to trim the fat. But don't worry, you don't have to give up everything fun. Just find ways to be a bit more mindful about where your money goes. The key here is to be realistic and flexible. Your budget might not be perfect right away, and that's okay. It's all about making progress over time. So grab a cup of tea, sit down with your finances, and start plotting your path to financial freedom. All right, let's talk about something that's like planting seeds for your future garden of wealth: saving and investing. Picture this. Every time you stash away some cash or put money into investments, you're basically building a safety net and planting seeds that'll grow into bigger, juicier fruits down the line. It's like having a secret stash of treasure that grows when you're not looking. So here's the deal. Start small, but start now. Set aside a bit of your earnings regularly, like a squirrel gathering nuts for winter. And when it comes to investing, think of it as giving your money a job. It works for you, making more money while you sleep. Whether it's stocks, bonds, or real estate, find what works for you and watch your wealth grow like magic beans. Remember, it's not about being a financial wizard. It's about taking small steps toward a brighter financial future. Now let's talk about optimism. Imagine optimism as your best friend, cheering you on even when things get tough. It's about looking at the bright side of life, even when the storm clouds gather. So how do we cultivate this magical quality? Well, first off, let's practice gratitude. Think about all the good stuff in your life, big or small, and give thanks. It's like planting seeds of positivity in the garden of your mind. Now let's talk about reframing. Ever heard of looking at the glass half full instead of half empty? That's reframing in action. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, shift your perspective to what's going right. It's like putting on a pair of rose-tinted glasses and seeing the world in a whole new light. And lastly, let's talk about perseverance. Optimism isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about facing them head-on with a smile. It's like having a never-say-die attitude, knowing that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. All right, let's dive into the wonderful world of humility and open-mindedness. Meet Joe, an ordinary guy with big dreams. Now, Joe thinks he knows it all, his way or the highway, right? But here's where things get interesting. One day, Joe's faced with a problem he can't solve alone. Enters Sarah, his wise and humble friend. She listens intently, offers a fresh perspective, and together they crack the code. Now, let's break it down like a pro. Humility is like a magic potion that opens doors to new possibilities. It's admitting when we're wrong, learning from others, and growing in the process. Think of it as taking a step back to see the bigger picture, like climbing a mountain and marveling at the view below. And then there's open-mindedness, the ultimate superpower in the quest for knowledge. It's like having a treasure map with endless X marks the spot. By embracing different ideas, cultures, and viewpoints, we expand our horizons and uncover hidden treasures of wisdom. Now let's talk about learning and growing, the stuff that keeps us sharp and ahead of the game. Think of it like this. You know how your favorite superhero is always training to get stronger and better? Well, that's what we're talking about here, becoming your own version of a financial superhero. So, picture this. Every new skill you learn is like unlocking a superpower. Whether it's mastering budgeting, diving into the world of investing, or honing your negotiation skills, each skill level up brings you closer to financial freedom. And learning doesn't have to mean hitting the books 24/7. It's about embracing new experiences, seeking out mentors, and staying curious. Remember, every new skill you acquire is an investment in yourself, and the returns, well, they're limitless. So keep that thirst for knowledge alive, keep pushing your boundaries, and watch as your financial journey transforms into an epic adventure. After all, the only way to level up is to keep leveling up. All right, let's talk about something that often lurks in the shadows of success: complacency. Picture this, you're cruising along, comfortable in your routine, but deep down, you know there's more to life than just coasting by. Complacency is like quicksand. The longer you stay in it, the harder it is to break free. But here's the kicker. The magic happens outside of your comfort zone. Think about it like this. If you always stay where it's safe and cozy, you'll never discover what you're truly capable of achieving. So, how do we kick complacency to the curb? It starts with a mindset shift. Instead of settling for mediocrity, we need to embrace change and challenge ourselves to reach new heights. It's about daring to dream bigger, pushing past obstacles, and refusing to settle for anything less than our full potential. Remember, life is too short to play it safe. So, let's reject complacency, seize every opportunity that comes our way, and unleash our inner greatness upon the world. And there you have it, guys. From scarcity to security, 16 critical sacrifices for financial freedom. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is wealth. So stay disciplined, stay focused, and watch as your journey from scarcity to security unfolds before your very eyes. Remember, the purpose of this video is to broaden your horizons in the realm of investing. It's not about handing you a ready-to-eat financial meal, but about teaching you how to cook one yourself. Investing comes with its share of risks and uncertainties, so it's crucial to wear your research hat and consult with qualified professionals before making any financial decisions. Keep in mind, past performance in investments is like last year's weather forecast. It doesn't necessarily predict what's going to happen tomorrow. Always weigh the risks and tread carefully when putting your hard-earned money at stake. If you found this video helpful, there's more where that came from. Now, if you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Do not hesitate to share this video. It may help someone. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.